Hi everyone! It's been a while since I actually sat down and did a little drawing video. So it was finally time. I wanted to work on these sketches that I did while I was at my parents' place. And I wanted to talk about something. And it's finding inspiration and motivation in art again. Because as you might know, I've had a really long project that I've been working on and I've recently graduated. So all my attention in the past months just went into this project. So coming out of it, I actually thought that I would be really motivated and would have all these ideas that I finally can work on once I'm done with this project. But if I'm being very honest, I just feel drained. I feel like my brain can't really come up with any ideas that I want to make, or I feel a little guilty for not making big enough things. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit since I was in this mind space. I think I kinda got myself out of it a little bit better. So I wanted to talk about a few tips that I could give you that helped me change my mindset around this a little bit, and hopefully I can help you a little bit too, because I know I'm not the only one that's struggling with that. I think this is a common thing within the art community, that it just feels so draining to suddenly be out of ideas. Maybe you have the time, but you just can't bring yourself to draw for whatever reason. And it's so painful, but yeah, I hope this video helps you a little bit in that. And yeah, so the first thing I noticed, which is why we're not starting this from the very beginning when I did those sketches, is I tried to remind myself why I did art and how I started it. So fortunately, when I was visiting my parents, they got a new table and it was really comfy, so I just sat there and there was no TV around or no distraction around. So I wanted to just spend time with my parents around there while they did different things. And I just started sketching, which I didn't do in a long time, like just randomly whipping out my sketchbook and drawing something random, just for the joy of it. So I got really excited about that. So in this situation, it reminded me of how I started art, and it was always because I was in a situation where I couldn't get distracted by TV or by my phone or whatever. Maybe it was in school, when I was in break time or whatever, and maybe there was no one I was talking to, or we were talking but we were all doing like different things at the same time, and I would always draw there. And the same happened in university when we had class, and I would just draw in class just to have something to do on the side. And while I was sitting there and drawing, and I'm actually really proud of how these sketches turned out and I really like them, I noticed that this is something I haven't done in a long time, to just sit down and sketch whatever, like in the situation that I feel familiar with, and just like going back to the roots, kind of like what triggered me back then to pick up my sketchbook and just draw and enjoy it. So I think I got very stuck in the mindset of I have to make content out of my art, or I have to make it good. Or I think this is like one of the downsides of wanting to post your art all the time, because if it doesn't end up looking good, or it's not this like special piece that you can post, it's not worth it, or like it was just a waste of time or something. And I feel like this fear of wasting your time on something quote unquote not pretty is what holds us back a lot. And I know that back then when I was in school or in my early university days, I didn't have that fear, because I also didn't have like an Instagram page or something where I could post it, and I would just draw. And obviously like also the environment, being around my parents, and just like, I don't know, the whole environment where I started drawing, just I don't know, it felt so familiar. So if you maybe had like a playlist or people you were around when you started drawing, or like, I don't know, some memories, some environment that like always kind of made you draw, maybe think about that and try to like simulate that again. It definitely did help me a lot. Like I think I didn't sketch at my parents' place for like a good 1 or 2 years now, and like suddenly having this moment where I just felt like it and I wanted to do it, and it actually like produced some pretty decent sketches, made me really happy. And another thing I definitely noticed once I got out of that project was that I really, really wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone. I already did that with my project, but for some reason it felt like, oh, I'm always drawing this or I'm always drawing that, and I shouldn't be drawing that now, and I should actually do something like really big and impressive to like I don't know, as a comeback or whatever. And I feel like that really got me stuck. I was really scared to start and to really get into it. I was scared of sketching like even just simple things because I don't know, it was really subconscious. I feel like I didn't really notice it, but I just really wanted to produce something new, something big, like maybe something like a big illustration with a background or something, and it really got me stuck. It was kind of like a mix of fear and disappointment that I might not like have the energy or the skill to do it, that got me really into that mindset and just prevented me from starting at all. And I feel like that's a thing that a lot of people have, just getting stuck by your own perfectionism and therefore not doing anything at all, and kind of just being in this freeze reaction of like, I don't want to mess it up, but actually like, what can you mess up? I try to see my sketches as, if it doesn't work out, it was a learning experience, because I can see what I did wrong and I can maybe apply that to the next sketch. So I definitely lost that mindset for a while after I got out of that project, and I just really wanted to make something perfect, but I definitely noticed how it got me stuck. So if you're also in there, maybe it's not the time to really push yourself out of your comfort zone. Obviously, we should always have our moments where we really try to make something bigger, and if that doesn't work out, we learn something from it, and if we didn't make that piece, we wouldn't have made the next piece better, you know. So I try to remind myself to just take it slow, and I hope you can too. And if I really feel this kind of lock, like I can't get past this point, then I try to just like take it slow and not push myself out of my comfort zone, and just draw whatever I liked to draw, just to have this kind of safe space for a while until I feel more confident again and better about myself, so I can actually like explore outside of my comfort zone. And a last thing I definitely noticed that is maybe not here on this page, but is definitely coming, is getting back to my obsessions. I know when I started really taking a leap with my art style and with my, in general, like drawing, and how much I drew and everything, I was so obsessed with specific things, or like I was in specific fandoms where I just really enjoyed something and I wanted to draw it all the time and figure out how to draw it, and it was so much fun. And I also noticed that recently I've really been restricting myself from it, or because I was so stuck in my final thesis and my final project, I really couldn't indulge in any like fun little obsessions. So recently, now that I'm out of it again, I've really been indulging in things, and I've been getting back to things that I'm obsessed with, that I was obsessed with when I was younger, when I started drawing, and I honestly can't wait to draw so much art around that. And I'm really happy that I'm starting to get all these ideas again, And yeah, that definitely really helped me. So if you had something that you had a lot of fun drawing, or like that you really like at the moment and maybe you can try drawing it, I definitely recommend it. It's such a big help and it's so much fun. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you like those 2 sketches. I really like them. I really liked exploring with those pencils. Oh, also those pencils were something I used all the time when I was 15, so that's also a little thing that like took me back in time. But yeah, I hope you have fun exploring a little bit with your art, and yeah, I hope you can get back into it. And yeah, take care of yourself. Bye.